What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Ray, a person I battled off my Discord server. So if you guys want to have a chance of battling me and want a spot to hang out and find Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles, definitely check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description. And before we get into this battle, if you guys are enjoying these daily Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles, let me know by leaving a like on the video, as it is the best way to show your support towards my YouTube channel, and it keeps me inspired to make these daily uploads for you guys, and it's just much appreciated. And yeah, now me and Ray are having an overused tier battle today, as we both agreed to not bring the Stealth Rock, which is pretty cool, which is why we see both Articuno, Abomasnow, and Salamence with no method of removing entry hazards. So yeah, my opponent's back in a pretty threatening team featuring, you know, freaking Scizor, which is a huge threat. Weavile and Circuitry are just the big threats I see, and hoping to God that that's not Subtoxic Life Score, because if that is Subtoxic Life Score, the game is not going to be fun. So turn 1, I decided to lead up with my Fappy Heat. My Napoleon is my opponent is up with Jack. Freaking just Weavile, man. So turn 1, I'm not trying to take a knockoff from Jack, so I have to switch out of my Fappy Heat here and bring in my Magearna to snack the knockoff and just pivot into Weavile. I brought my Magearna to this game because I needed something to check Tapu Lele and just check a bunch of Pokemon in general, since Magearna is such a nice soft check to everything because the Assault Vest makes it super tanky, so yeah, I really like it. Now my opponent is going to bring in the Circuitry here, as I do decide to go for the Volt Switch because it's just my best play overall, and I can get some offensive momentum, and I could have went for Fleur Cannon and probably go with the Circuitry, but I didn't realize he'd bring in Circuitry on Magearna, so I mean that was already a bit of a risky move, but whatever. Now I'm going to bring my Abomasnow here onto the Circuitry, which is also a pretty risky move because he could have All-Out Pummeling or just have Specs Focus Blast to just obliterate me, and it won't be good for Abomasnow. I don't think Abomasnow could tank Spec Circuitry's Focus Blast, because Circuitry's special attack stats absolutely absurd. So I'm gonna Mega Evolve with my Abomasnow anyways, just because I figured the best Pokemon I have to deal with this freaking Circuitry, since Circuitry is super offensive, and I just really don't have a switch into it. So my opponent is going to go for the Volt Switch, and Abomasnow should be able to snack this, as it does, thankfully. And now Circuitry is going to switch on out of here, and he's going to bring in Tornadus. Not really what I was anticipating to switch into Abomasnow, but I guess my opponent views that it's not that useful into this battle, so I'm gonna go for Blizzard, unless this is Zoroark, but it looks like it's just Tornadus. So down goes the Tornadus. Therian form doesn't do anything. I haven't even seen Tornadus Therian form in Sun and Moon at all, so considering it did nothing in this Wi-Fi battle, probably lives up to why you never see it in a Wi-Fi battles ever. So now my opponent's gonna switch out the Weavile. Here's like a really odd turn to play. So he brings in Weavile. I didn't want to take a low kick, so I switched out and brought in Articuno, but then my opponent brings in Scizor, and I'm like, wait a minute, Articuno against Scizor isn't good, and I'm like, alright, well, I mean, I guess I'm staying in here because I want to get the Aurora Veil up, because I am screening Articuno, as actually the Scizor ends up being Zoroark and goes for a Nasty Plot, and I'm like, what the hell, I thought it was Scizor, I thought he was about to Sword Stance on my ass, but he doesn't. He just freaking goes for a Nasty Plot instead, and that's fine. I'd rather deal with Zoroark than Scizor at this point, so we're going to set up the Aurora Veil with my Articuno. I also have Reflect. I wish Articuno got a Light Screen, but it does not. It just gets Reflect, so I'm unable to set up the Light Screen as well. But yeah, he's going to go for Flamethrower. Articuno just freaking snacks it up for breakfast. And now I'm able to retaliate with a Blizzard, just to reveal that it is Zoroark. And yeah, we're going to break the Zoroark's disguise, and unfortunately we're unable to one-shot the Zoroark with Blizzard, but I guess I don't have any special attack investment, so it's not too surprising. But now my opponent actually reveals he has the Z move on Zoroark, which is pretty scary. He's actually Black Hole Eclipse, freaking Shibaku Tensei, and I'm hoping that with Aurora Veil I should be able to live this. My Articuno does have the Light Clay with Aurora Veil because I want him to do the nice Aurora Veil 8-turn combination with Brainless offense, but it's not as brainless as a little Ninetales because you need both Articuno and Abomasnow to pull it off, as this Articuno doesn't even have Hail. It has freaking Roost, Reflect, Blizzard, and Aurora Veil. I got rid of Hail for Reflect because I wanted it, okay? So down goes Zoroark to the Blizzard, as now my opponent is going to bring in the Circuitry here, and I'm hoping that I can save my Articuno, but I decide that it's probably for the best I sack it off here, because 8 HP Articuno isn't really having the opportunity to roost. So I'm going to sack off Articuno here to the Thunderbolt, and Circuitry of course is going to get a Beast Boost Now, considering we've seen both Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, I'm going to take an assumption this is either Scarf Circuitry or Spec Circuitry, and since Thunderbolt didn't do that much damage, or Volt Switch didn't do that much damage to my Abomasnow initially, I'm going to assume it's probably Choice Scarf Circuitry if I were to guess, though it could be incorrect in that assumption. But yeah, now my opponent is going to switch out a Circuitry here and bring in the Weavile. Not what I was anticipating him to bring in, but I actually decided to double switch out, expecting Scizor to pivot into Blizzard, and so I switch into my Salamence because I do have the Flying Z move, but it ends up he brings in Weavile, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is awful, I can't stay in on Weavile, but then he decides to switch out, expecting me to switch out, and I'm like, what? This is like some freaking prediction-ception going on here, as I'm trying to just not die to freaking Ice Shard, so I bring in my Magearna, as he either predicts the Magearna switching or switches in the Gliscor for some reason, I'm not too sure, but yeah, he pivots into Gliscor against Magearna, which is a good play, and now I'm like, okay, well, I do have the ice coverage to hit this Gliscor, so I should be fine, and he actually predicts me to switch out again, and goes for the knockoff, so I don't know if he was predicting all of my switches, or that was just a freaking clusterfuck of predictions, but either way, it works out for me, as we're able to Ice Beam the freaking Gliscor and one-shot it, with a pretty useless critical hit, but whatever, down goes the Gliscor, we take those, and I should run Blizzard on this Magearna if I was running the Hail. I don't know if Magearna even gets Blizzard, but it would have been a cool idea. But yeah, we're going to take some Hail damage here, and now my opponent is going to bring in the Circuitry. Pretty big threat, like I said earlier, but I do have Aurora Veil up, so I should be able to tank a Thunderbolt and then retaliate with the freaking Flare Cannon. So we're going to actually snack that Thunderbolt, which leads me to believe it's probably Scarf Circuitry. We tank the Thunderbolt, but we get 10% paralyzed, and then we get the freaking 33%, and I'm like, God, that's awful. I could have killed the Circuitry, I could have avoided the Beast Boost, but after Hail, I think that puts me in range of the Thunderbolt, especially since my Aurora Veil wears off here, so kind of unlucky sequence of turns, unfortunately. But I am going to sleep my Magearna just because I'm not trying to give the Circuitry a free Beast Boost. Even though I got a little bit unlucky, I'm not going to let him get the free Beast Boost. So I bring in my Abomasnow here to pivot into Thunderbolt, and there's no way this thing is Choice Specs because the Thunderbolt's doing absolutely nothing, and Circuitry has base like 180 something special attack. It's ridiculous. I think it's like 173 if I remember correctly. But yeah, now my opponent's going to bring in the actual Scizor this time around, as unfortunately my Hail does wear off, so I really can't go for Blizzard reliably. So I bring in my Andy here as he brings in Scizor, and I'm like, wow, what an awful turn. And so here, I go for my Trick Room, hoping that he doesn't go for a U-turn or Bug Bite, and he goes for Sword Stance or something, because I am a Trick Room sweeping Malamar set that my friend Andy came up with, but unfortunately it's not going to be doing me much good in this battle, because he just goes for U-turn, and Malamar is going to get obliterated. But I didn't have a switch into Scizor, so it was just a bit of an unlucky switch on my part, and I thought he would switch into Weavile that turn, which is why I made that aggressive play, but he didn't, so that was just unfortunate for me. But now I'm going to bring in my Magearna onto the Weavile, as I should be able to tank a knockoff or whatever he wants to go for, as he does realize that he's going to switch out. Sorry for clearing my throat so much, I'm kind of losing my voice. I'm just going to bring in a Circuitry here, as now I choose to go for Flare Cannon, as it's my best play. Stab Flare Cannon should easily knock out whatever he brings in bar Scizor, so Flare Cannon's going to easily knock out that Circuitry. That's what I should have done to begin with against this thing, but I kind of Volt Switched around it and played around it poorly, and I kind of deserved that. But thankfully we didn't get paralyzed that turn, which is very nice. We get a Soul Heart boost, and now my opponent's going to bring in the Scizor here. Pretty big threat to my team, and I should be able to tank a Bullet Punch or a U-turn, so I should be able to get one attack off at least, get one Flare Cannon, but he goes for the freaking Sword Stance. I actually do believe I go for Volt Switch just so I don't give him a free roost, but unfortunately we get the Paralyzed Axe, which kind of sucks because seeing that chip damage off with Volt Switch would have been very nice, but now he's able to go for Bullet Punch at +2 attack and knock out my Magearna. I'm pretty sure Volt Switch would have done at least 15 to 20% at a +1 or neutral special attack thanks to Soul Heart. So I mean, actually I would have been at -1 special attack, so I wouldn't have done that much damage. But now I bring in Salamence, hoping to God I love this Bullet Punch, because Salamence has decent base defenses, as thankfully we live at 6 hit points and we're able to go for my own Z move because I need to weaken the Scizor. I don't have fire coverage on the Salamence as I am a physical set, though I do need to use Spec Salamence in the future, because Spec Salamence or Special Attacking Salamence is also really fun to use. But yeah, we're gonna go for Supersonic Sky Strike because we are the freaking Moxie Dragon Dance Z move set, and we're gonna go for Supersonic Sky Strike, and unfortunately for us, Scizor is going to live. That is where the freaking chip damage from Volt Switch would have came in, but unfortunately we did get fully paralyzed, and now Scizor is able to go for Bullet Punch and knock out my Samantha, my Salamence. So unfortunately down goes my Salamence, and all I have left is my Empoleon really, and that's kind of unfortunate. I have Empoleon, and I do believe I have Abomasnow left, and Abomasnow isn't really doing me much. against Scizor, so it's not looking so great for me. I'm going to bring in Empoleon here, go for the agility, knowing that he can't one-shot me unless he has superpower, and you're going to go for the agility as now my opponent brings in Weavile, and now I'm going to go for the Surf because I'm just trying to knock out this Weavile. Don't have Flash Cannon or anything, but unfortunately Surf doesn't do enough, and now my opponent's going to go for the knockoff. He's going to knock off my weakness policy. Unfortunately, we were unable to proc the weakness policy in this game. It's actually one of the few occurrences where I haven't been able to proc weakness policy. That's pretty funny. I usually get weakness policy pretty frequently, even though I use it so often. It's pretty funny. But yeah, we're going to knock out the Weavile with the Torrent boosted Surf, and now my opponent's going to bring in Scizor. It all comes down to if I can live the Bullet Punch or not, and considering it's quad resisted, I'm hoping I can live it, and thankfully Empoleon snacks it with 6 HP, and now I'm able to retaliate with a Stab Torrent Surf, and at that range of health, Scizor is not living anyway, and we were able to barely win the battle, even throughout all the hacks, thanks to Empoleon late game. And yeah, that was a pretty fun Wi-Fi battle, not the most competitive battle in the world, but hey, you gotta have some fun battles like this one, and I hope you guys did enjoy this Wi-Fi battle. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and want to support the channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it is much appreciated. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite borderline Pokemon to use in the overused tier? Let me know in the comments down below, as the borderline tier has a lot of Pokemon in it this generation. Like, damn, there's so many borderlines. My favorite borderlines to use is probably Salamence and Scolipede. Salamence and Scolipede are really strong, respectively, as sweepers. I also think that Dragonite is very underrated, but Dragonite is just a worse version of Salamence in that regard, so I guess it's like the same shit, different toilet. And yeah, I really like the BL Pokemon in this generation. I kind of hope that they make BL a tier eventually. I highly doubt they will, but they have enough Pokemon to actually make an effective tier at this point. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite borderline Pokemon is to use in the overused tier. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I'll check you guys in my next video. Bye.